Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Serena Alexandra. She has just released a fantastic new song called Woven, and I am super excited to talk to her all about it. Serena, I sincerely want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this. How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking and thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be on your videos and
Yeah,
everything.
I know. I'm excited to have you. I think all good music deserves to be talked about. And as I mentioned before we started recording, I love this song. It's clearly very you, and it definitely embodies a certain feel, and obviously has your vocals right in the forefront, kind of showing off everything that you've got. And I could listen to it all day. It puts me in a very specific mood. Thing is though is I don't want to put words in your mouth as to what it's about. So the first thing I really want to get to know is like, what's it about? What inspired it? Let's hear the whole backstory.
Yes, absolutely. So, music in general has always been a very safe place for me, somewhere I can turn to when there's not really that elsewhere that's obvious to me.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, and so Woven feels like that home, this like vulnerable, heartwarming kind of piece. And I feel like Woven is this like dream world where I can get swept up in a perfect lullaby.
I
And
felt that.
yeah, and I can just like float into like a little safety net.
I fully agree, and I'm sure that that was the point when you actually made this thing, but it has like a very like intimate romantic feeling about it. Like there's a dreaminess and grand atmospheres and like all the fun buzzwords, but also like it really does feel like raw in a way. Like it's you bearing your soul on a song that while it does have a really nice production, like I said, it's really you in the forefront, kind of like carrying it away. And I'm sure that that was the vision that you had the whole time.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely remember. So the night before I wrote it, I had this feeling like I should wake up extra early tomorrow and write a song. And
Yes.
I'm not one to like wake up at sunrise. Like that's a little early for me.
I feel the same, yeah.
At least not now. When I was younger, I was an energy ball, so I loved
Right.
sunrise, and I still do. But now I think my nights are usually a little later. But I woke up extra early, and it it kind of came to me. Like I sat down to write a song. Like that was intentional.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was coming. And I remember having this feeling like my classical roots are probably going to come into this somehow. And then from that, I was like, huh, I wonder if I can enter a space in my mind that can really put me in the vibe for what I feel like is trying to be unearthed.
Right.
And yeah, and so I'm very inspired by pretty much everything. Like, I love looking at the world around me and seeing beauty in places. So one thing that I love to do is look up like Baroque architecture, and that's
Okay.
like really like I just love. It's
No,
so
no, I'm a big architecture person myself, but yeah, no, no, sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
no, it's awesome. I mean, we could nerd out about that all day, but
Totally, totally.
but yeah, I just feel like I entered that space in my mind of this beautiful kind of architectural space. But I also saw a garden at the same, like kind of, and those working together. Like I feel like one thing is like sometimes architecture and nature can seem to like be one or the other.
Sure.
But I feel like I saw it as this like intertwine. Like I always love seeing like when vines are on the side of a wall or something.
Yeah.
And I kind of entered that space, or like, and this forest I kind of saw too. And then the song just kind of bubbled up. Yeah.
That's the way that it should be. I know that some people when they're going to write songs, it's like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and whatever happens, happens. But I think it sounds like it was a mix of both for you. Like it was a mix of life experience, but also actively seeking out making music, which in my opinion, I think is the best happy medium because some things can come off forced and sort of manufactured. This does feel very organic in a way, which I think is kind of the way that you want it to be.
Thank you. Yeah, it felt very organic. It felt very from my heart.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not usually someone who can write manufactured. Like every once in a while, I'll
Right.
be this line might sound better than that line, and like that's kind of the formulating process,
Sure.
but that's not really my intention going into it. I feel like the main thing for me is like, where is this coming from? Is it coming from a vulnerable space? Is it coming from my heart? Will it make me stronger to write this song? Will it
Absolutely.
bring strength and unity and resilience to this world?
No, that's a great point. Another thing that I not necessarily struggled with because I feel that the song has so many styles about it. Like it's not just one thing. It's not just pop or dream pop or any other subgenre. So I'd love to hear from you. Like, how are you describing this to people? What are you calling this?
Yeah, that's such a fun question because for a while I just had no idea how to explain it to people.
Sure,
Like
sure.
just zero concept of how to say this is
Yeah.
what I do. Because it is such a blend. Like I've had influences from heavy metal
Yeah.
to like classical and like I love opera and that old world feel.
Hmm.
It's like deep romance, but I also like that fierceness and that edge and stuff like that too a lot of the time, which doesn't exactly come out a lot in this song particularly, but there's more
Yeah,
coming.
it doesn't have to. Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm someone who loves kind of bringing in elements from everywhere that I can,
Right.
and it just all kind of comes together in this like little pearl. I don't know, is how I feel like. Like I
No,
feel
I
like
agree. And I think it shows because one of the most difficult things to do as an artist, especially with the insane amount of music that gets released every day, is to make something that legitimately sounds different and original. And it's like there's only so many chord structures, there's only so many like melodies that exist or whatever. And it's like you can make something that actually sounds like you, gives you a signature feel to whatever it is. Like that's what it's all about. As long as you're keeping things fresh and making the music that you want to make, that's what matters at the end of the day.
mm, yeah, I totally see that and I totally agree. I feel like I definitely had to hide myself
Yeah.
completely from the world for these songs to be unearthed. Like, um, yeah, like I did independent study and that's how I graduated because
Okay.
a little backstory, I had two concussions in high school.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I know that's a heavy load right there.
No, that's okay. Hey, I mean, you sound fine, but it's probably really difficult to go through in the moment.
It was very hard to go through in the moment,
Yeah.
but I remember like, and that's a whole nother story of like the resilience that I've experienced through that and
Yeah.
how I can enter those places. But I will say that like it really gave me the space to like graduate with independent study when I didn't go out as much. I wasn't as like doing sports because I couldn't and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So my schedule was very open to be free for artistry, and that's when I started really like drawing heavily and like listening to albums with a different ear and like
Yeah.
looking at shadows and lighting and I feel like all of those elements have like brought this like flower that's new to the earth. Like I feel like
Right.
there's like a new flower that just bloomed out of like 20 different flowers
Sure.
around it. And it's like, I
Right.
didn't know that they could have a baby flower like this.
It's not like saying, it was meant to be. Although I do feel like consuming art is a relatively safe physical thing to do. Like you don't need to, I don't know how the concussions happen and if it was sports related, but like sitting there and painting or drawing or creating music on an instrument is not too physically taxing. Seems like a safe thing to do, and sounds like the right path was taken here.
I definitely think so. I definitely feel like there's a call, like a calling for it over my life.
Yeah.
I kind of want to like hip hop or skip and hop back to the question.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
please, please.
you asked like a minute ago was how do I explain it to people? I kind of explain each song a little differently, and then
Okay.
I have what I like say is like all of it. And how I do each song is like this one I call like ethereal, kind of romantic, ethereal, ambient ballad is kind of how.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then my songs as a whole I kind of describe as more like feeling and intention.
Okay.
I describe my songs as vulnerable. I describe my songs as a journey, and how each one goes from like, well, everyone is different. Like some of them are more strong and more in like I'm here, I'm resilient, I'm strong. And then other ones are more like I'm working through the darkness to find
Totally.
a way out.
I
Yeah.
love that. I think, yeah, I mean, I need to do more digging into your music, but it sounds like you're kind of hitting all the different points. And I also want to go back to one thing that you mentioned about future sounds. I don't want to take too much attention away from Woven, but I also want to look towards the future a little bit. Like, it sounds like you're always experimenting in a way. What can people expect in the future, I suppose?
Yeah, so in the future, I'll be putting out an EP come September.
Cool.
And I've been in the studio a lot, beginning my recordings for a possible album as well.
Nice.
Yeah, because I have so many songs. Like,
Awesome. Good
so
problems. Good problems.
it's a good problem to have because I get to pick from this like
Right.
list of like what do I want my album to communicate? Like what do I want to make a story out of with
Yeah.
my favorite of my songs?
Is there an unreleased song that you're most excited for people to hear, whether it has a title or not?
Oh, good question. Okay, there is. Okay, I feel like I can't talk about that one because it's not for certain yet.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't, and I don't want to push you in any direction to say something that you don't want to say. So,
But I will say that Gravity is
okay.
one that I really am so like something in me just backs it up. Like in a
Oh,
sense, it's like I'm very proud of it. Like
okay.
something just resonates very deeply with me.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for it whenever it comes. If it comes, if it doesn't, it's there. It kind of sounds like you're excited for this one. I'm sure it'll
That one's
see
a
the
for
light of day.
that one's a for certain one.
Cool. In terms of the actually like making the songs, does it start a certain way for you? Does it start with a life experience or a lyric that pops in your head or just strumming on a guitar? Like, or does it change from song to song?
It so changes from song to song.
Cool.
Every song has its own life, and it's kind of like, I mean, like if you think about how we're born on this earth, like everyone's like birth is so different. Like that's such like a
Yeah.
random thing. Everyone's birth is so such a different experience, and you hear like these stories of like, oh, like this is my kid came out like this, or my kid came out so curious.
Right.
And I feel like that's how I feel about songs is every song kind of is birthed in a different way and every song kind of takes its own life.
I've never thought about it like that, but that's actually a great way of putting it. Truly, no, because like I'm sure you hear it because you're immersed in your own music scene. It's like I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write this song, or I was driving in the car and the song popped in my head. But it's like you're
That
right.
one
Everything,
so
yeah,
much.
and it happens all the time. But everything sort of does have its own story, which is really unique in its own sense.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've almost been late because I had to pull over and record a voice
Oh,
memo.
worth it, worth it, and it's not worth getting in a car crash over. It never is. So
It's definitely not
no,
that. Like definitely
absolutely not.
wait for at least a stoplight, if nothing else, but pull over if you can.
Perfect. Um, have you gotten the opportunity to play live yet? Are you doing that? Is it something you want to do?
Yes, yeah, I am playing live actually.
Cool.
I just got back from Portland recently.
Nice.
And
I'm going there on Wednesday.
oh,
Portland,
nice.
Oregon, I assume.
Wait, what did you say the last city?
Portland, Oregon, or Maine?
Portland, Oregon.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm going.
Nice, yeah. Okay, I love the rain. So something about being there
Got it.
just hit different. I mean, the first line of Woven is rain.
Right, right.
Rain, I feel rain. It's just like rain has always been a happy place for me. So Portland
Nice.
is yeah, and I'll be heading to Southern California in a few weeks.
Cool.
I'm coming for Nashville in August.
Nice.
And I also have private concerts and I'm working on a headlining show soon. And those
Nice.
details should be up on my website
Very
shortly.
cool. And we will have everything linked. Don't worry about that. Um, is there a portion of your live set that you look forward to the most, or maybe even a song that you feel sort of like livens up the room or unites everybody.
Yes, definitely. There's this song called Circles.
Okay.
And that song, not to pull it too much away from Woven,
No, of
but
course not.
yeah, but that song really came from like I wanted a party song. Like I wanted a joyful song.
Yeah,
'Cause yeah, like who doesn't want that, you
sure.
know? Like and so many of my songs come from this, deep emotional
Right.
heart space, which is my favorite thing to do. But I just felt like I would play through a lot of my songs. I was like, I just need like a bop. Like I need a party
Yeah.
song.
I
So
agree. No, I agree. It can't all be like melancholy. Not that your music is, but at the same time, like it's like I
it's
said, it go no, but it goes back to you as an artist. Like you're the one spending the time and the money and the effort to actually make this thing happen. If it's not something that you'd want to listen to in the car, then like what are you, wasting your time with? It needs to be something that you thoroughly enjoy. That's what it's about.
yeah, and I honestly thoroughly enjoy every song that I'm putting out, and I can say that wholeheartedly.
Awesome.
And yeah, and I feel like just as much as it's fun to dance to a song, I feel like I need a good cry, just like to it's
Yes.
equivalent.
Yes. Yes.
So
When it comes to like live shows, you have to have that balance. It can't be all out bangers for an hour and a half. There needs to be like a wave of emotion and riding highs and lows. Like there's a balance.
yeah, there's a nourishment in the balance.
Absolutely. I agree. Um, so we are like basically halfway done with 2023, which is wild. Every time I look at the calendar, I like can't believe it. And you've sort of highlighted things that are happening in the near future, but I want to take a look at the rest of the year. Are there any major things you have planned, besides shows, but also like what are some goals that you'd like to hit too?
Good question. I feel like I'm ready to really hone in and make some like fun goals. But I will say like there are things I want to do in general. Like it would be so fun to like be on live TV
Yeah,
and to do those like fun things to get a sync feel and like have a song play in an awesome movie that I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this is my song.
totally. Yeah, I'll bet those syncing deals. My goodness.
Those are so cool.
Yeah,
Like I just feel like that is awesome because I've always loved movies. Like I love TV shows.
sure.
As a little kid, like it was like music or movies. It was like
No, totally. It's still kind of like that, to be honest. Like when I think
yeah,
about the media I consume, it's pretty much music and movies at all times.
yeah. And the combo, it's
Oh,
everything.
so good. Um, I I have a couple more questions to ask you, and normally I don't ask like, oh, who are like your inspirations and influences, but like I'm gonna ask that because I really like your music so much that I think that we have a similar taste in who we enjoy. And it doesn't need to be everyone because obviously we listen to hundreds of people at once, but I guess who are like some main acts or artists or bands or whatever that, put you on the path to do what you do?
Good question. So many. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I figured. I figured like the list is actually endless.
yeah, the list is endless. Like so I had an easy class in high school,
Okay,
pre-concussion, okay?
sure.
Um, and it was like I could just like kind of skate by that class.
Yeah.
And I would just like pull up the Chromebook, like I'd pull up and just watch concerts like every single day,
Very nice.
the whole period. And I think like watching a wide range of different elements and different concerts like has always brought more out of me.
Sure.
Um, but I will say like specifically kind of to Woven, I think the influences that like kind of remind me the most of it are like these ethereal kind of storytelling women like Sarah Brightman, Kate Bush, Sia, Imogen Heap, like
Sure.
artistic women who are fierce and artsy and in their feelings a little bit. Like I love all of them and I feel like that kind of comes through a little bit more and woven than in my other
Yeah,
music.
I hear it and I see it. And like I said, I'm not surprised by your influences, but it's always nice to sort of confirm that. And listen, like I said, like you can't make music nowadays without, having heard so many other things. No
Yeah.
one is going to make 100% original things. Everything stems from something else, but it's all about pivoting in a way and creating something for yourself. And I really do think that this song has done that in a way. And it's a difficult thing to do. Like, there's no steps 1 through 5 on how to get there. You just kind of figure it out.
That is very true. I feel like there definitely aren't exact steps, but and I feel like there is kind of a people do tell me like, is it hard? Like, is it difficult? And I think that when you imagine it as something that's far away from you, it seems difficult.
Yeah,
But when you put inward and say what's already there, then it just flows from you.
exactly. Sometimes it's the easiest thing ever.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard for, everyone is creative in their own right. Everyone does their own things. But I think making music is a beast of its own, where it's like, you can't just grab a random person off the street and say, make a song. Like, there's so much more, and like your brain has to be wired in a certain way to do it.
Maybe the nature versus nurture on songwriting.
I don't know. That's a 10-hour conversation to have right
An
there.
hour conversation. That is like a title of a whole podcast right there.
Totally. Well, Serena, I've got one more question to ask you here. And the question is basically for the person that is going to discover you from this, what is an opening message you'd like to say to them before they listen to your music for the first time?
Oh, good question. Ooh, I feel like this is a fun one.
Yeah, no wrong answers either,
First of all, welcome. Like,
of course.
thank you with open arms. Um, like, welcome. You're loved. You're respected. You're cared about. And yeah, you matter. And I hope you can explore your fullest potential. And I hope that my songs can lead you on your self discovery process.
I think that's about as good of an intro as one person could have. You've convinced me. I'm convinced. I'm gonna listen. Serena, I want to thank you so much for taking the time, but please let me plug your music one more time here before we wrap up. If you guys missed it the first time around, the song is called Woven. There's also a video, but we will have the links in our article so that you can listen and share and follow along and generally just stay tuned because it sounds like there's so much more in the bank and ready to go. I'm really excited to hear what else happens, and it sounds like you've got a jam-packed second half of your year, so I will be paying close attention.
Thank you so much, Austin. It has been a pleasure.
I agree. I think it's also been a pleasure getting to speak to you. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your night, an amazing rest of your week, and I hope to speak soon.
Thank you. You as well. Have a
All
great
right. Talk to you later. Bye bye.